Now let's talk about abstract class. Well, in order to understand abstract classes, we should know 4 topics. The first topic is the class itself, and the second topic is inheritance, and the third topic is interface, and the last one is access modifiers. We have already talked about all of these subjects. If you want to freshen up your memories, just go back to the part that we talked about those topics and watch them again and come back to see the rest of this section. Well, what is an abstract class? Well, an abstract class is like an interface. So it has methods that are only defined but not implemented. But at the same time, it's like a class, normal class. We can have methods that are implemented. So it's like having best of both worlds. Let me show you an example. First, we will define it by abstract class human. And this abstract class can have properties like private name. This can have public functions like public function say hello, and this would echo hello. As I said before, we could also have methods that are not defined, like an interface. And in order to write such methods, we should use the keyword abstract. Abstract, protected. Then we use the access modifier. We say, okay, I want to protect a function that says nationality. And that's it. Without any problem, we can write this. This function does not need to be implemented right now. This will be implemented by the children who extend this class. This function which is implemented, it's available for all the children, and we also have a property here. I could even make it public so everyone can access it. The abstract functions cannot be private because they should be implemented. So if I write private, my IDE is going to give me an error. It's going to show me that this is an error. This should be public or protected. So it would be implemented by the child. And if I go here, I can create a class like AMIR. This class should extend. For interface, we use implement, but for abstract class, we use extends human. Now I will get this red underline. Let me run my code to see what's the error. As you can see, it says class AMIR contains one abstract method and must therefore be declared or implement the remaining method. So now I should definitely implement this function. As soon as I declare it in my class, the error is gone. No problem. Now, because AMIR extends human, I have a public property called name. I have a function say hello, and I have a method nationality that should be implemented. For example, I could say echo my nationality is, and then the nationality of that object. Here I said that the abstract method can be public or protected. But here, when I extend human, I don't need the access modifier to be exactly the same. Here, I could write public. No problem, and it would still work. But I cannot change it to private because this is abstract. This should be public or protected. But if I change it to public, this should also be public. It cannot be protected. The implemented method should have the same level or a little bit higher. So if it's protected, this can be protected or public. But if it's public, it has to be public. It has to have the same level or a more inclusive access modifier. If we wanted to compare abstract class with interface, other than being able to implement a method, there are some other differences. The first difference is that abstract class can have properties, but with an interface, I cannot have a property. But if I define an interface here, for example, interface test, if I write private or public even, if I have a public name, it will give me an error. Like, what are you doing? Interface cannot have properties. Yeah? Interfaces may not include member variable. And as you can see, there is a red underline by my ID under property. The other thing that is different between interfaces and abstract classes is that in an abstract class, we can have protected methods, but in an interface, all the methods should be public. So here I cannot write private function test. I will get an error. Like, you cannot have private methods. You cannot have protected methods. Protected. Still, I cannot have that. All the methods should be public. Now I don't see any error. And the next difference is that if you want a class to implement a method, you should use implements, and for abstract class we use extend. When we use extend, obviously we cannot extend multiple abstract classes, but with implements we can implement multiple interfaces. That's the end of abstract class. Now let's go to the next topic.